Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about something that I am certainly not an expert in. In fact, trying to find much knowledge about this subject is rather difficult. What I'm talking about is rings. Now, something over a century ago, J.R.R. Tolkien wrote an epic trilogy called The Lord of the Rings. More recently, Peter Jackson, a movie director, turned those 3 books into a series of 3 movies that were widely acclaimed and very popular. Now, the whole story centered around the Lord of the Rings and the power of the One Ring that was created, presumably for nefarious purposes. However, I think in addition to the ring being a symbol of power, the ring is also a symbol of some unfulfilled desire that people have, at least according to the movie and the storyline, my interpretation of the storyline. But enough about J.R.R. Tolkien and the Lord of the Rings, because what I really want to talk about is rings in Thai culture. Now, I've done some research on this, and surprisingly enough, finding much in the way of definitive information about rings and the wearing of them and what they mean in Thai society and Thai culture is not a simple task. I mean, Wikipedia has some information. YouTube, interestingly enough, has virtually no information, at least none that I could find, about the cultural aspects of the ring. They have all kinds of videos showing stores that sell them and things like that. But based on my own observations and somewhat my own interpretations, I find it quite interesting that a simple gold band, which of course in Thailand, gold has greatly respected for its value and purity and all that kind of stuff. And they only want 24 karat gold, or virtually pure. I think it's 99.98% pure gold. Well, of course, the thing is, gold jewelry, especially rings that are 24 karat gold, are quite soft. Their gold is infinitely malleable, along with its many other very interesting properties, not corroding, not oxidizing, and it's an great electrical conductor. It's used quite extensively in electronics, plating for various connections. But in Thai culture, the simple gold band is usually worn on the middle finger, this one. And the symbolism of that is pretty interesting. This finger is associated with the planet Saturn, and it has to do with authority, responsibility, respect, and longevity. And it's rather funny in many ways that giving somebody the finger is basically saying F you to authority. But you'll find that, I don't know about the men so much, but the Thai ladies will tend to wear, if they have one, that gold band on this finger. I think there's a couple of reasons for that. One is that the knuckle closest to the hand is the biggest knuckle of all the fingers as far as size goes, except for the thumb, of course. That means that a ring that will fit comfortably over that knuckle but stay securely on the finger has to be larger. You know, you can't have just a little tiny pinky ring. If you're going to put the ring here, it's got to pass over this knuckle and sit there on the finger. And the symbolism that I've been able to discover is that that's what it stands for. It stands for authority, but primarily for respect, duty, responsibility to the person who gave the ring to the other person. It's often, of course, worn as a symbol of marriage, or certainly of some kind of connection between the giver and the receiver. So what I would say is that if you're out and about, if you're a foreign guy like me, and you're thinking about establishing a relationship with a Thai lady, realize a couple of different things. Number one, a Thai lady of high standing, unless she's actually married, is unlikely to wear a ring, a simple gold band on that middle finger like that as a sign of status, because it does have the connotation of meaning she's married. Now, of course, if she's married, it's a different story. However, if it's not a high status lady, just average Thai woman that you might meet out there or out and about, especially if she's working in the adult industry in any way, and she is a bearer of one of those rings, and she wears it on the middle finger, you've got to question if you're interested in this person, forming a relationship of any kind with this person. Where did she get that ring from? Because with the average wage in Thailand being something in the order of 10,000 baht a month, the likelihood that the average Thai woman is going to spring for somewhere in the range of at least 35,000 baht and up, depending on the price of gold at the time, to buy herself a ring is pretty small. Now, I'm sure some of the real successful bar girls could certainly afford to buy a ring for themselves, and they might well do so. Whether or not they would wear it, I don't know. They might just keep it safely tucked away somewhere, because it is a form of portable wealth. I mean, if it is a pure gold ring, it can be cashed in or certainly pawned for some part of its value in the need of any kind of emergency need for cash. But if that's not the, if it's not the case where this lady is, bought her own ring and keeps it around in case she ever needs a chunk of money in an emergency situation, and she happens to be sporting one of these rings, you got to ask yourself, where did that ring come from? Who bought the ring for her? And if she's wearing it all the time, that means essentially, as far as I can determine, she belongs to someone already. Now, of course, she's may deny that, may not answer any questions about it, but I believe, and I might be 100% wrong here, that if she's wearing a ring, especially just a plain gold band, especially on the middle finger of either hand, someone else bought that ring for her, and she is in some way connected to that person that bought that ring for her. And she really doesn't have room in her life, presumably, for another person, at least not for any kind of serious or long-term type of relationship. Now, who knows? I hear all kinds of stories about what some of the women do and the scams they pull and how they're connected to multiple partners and so many different ways, it's insane. But I think it's just a simple thing to be aware of. And if you have, like I said, if you got somebody of particular interest and she's already wearing that simple gold band, you gotta wonder why and who paid for it, who bought it for her, and who is she beholden to. That's not going to be you, more than likely. Now, one of the other things that I found researching around is places like Lazada and Shopee, two online stores that I know about, I'm sure there are others, sell these rings, not the pure gold ones. Some of them are brass alloy that for all intents and purposes look exactly like the gold ones. Some of them are stainless steel plated with gold. Some of them are titanium plated with gold. And I guess some of them are of other lesser metals also plated, usually with 14 karat gold. And for all intents and purposes, they're indistinguishable unless you go to a jeweler, because they have ways, non-destructive ways of testing the gold content of any ring. So, for a few hundred baht, you could equip yourself with a number of different sizes of these plain gold bands if you find yourself with a lady that you want to permanently affix yourself to, at least for a short term. You could easily give her one of these rings. However, woe be to you if she takes it quite serious and goes to a jeweler to have the ring checked for authenticity and purity. You could find yourself in a very warm water, shall we say. Anyway, I find it to be a very fascinating and interesting subject that is not easy to find out information about it. But hopefully this little word of warning will help you out should you come across a situation where a lady you're interested in is already wearing one or perhaps more of these rings. That's also common. Beware. Be smart. And have a good time out there, fellas. Take care now. Bye.